So yesterday I went comic book shopping. Yesterday, actually, I kind of just picked up one comic book that I had them set aside, and uh, something really, really cool happened to me yesterday. I looked in their highly expensive cases of vintage comic books and saw something I recognized. Seen it in there, and it was this. See that right there? Yeah. It's an old Silver Surfer comic book. Look how much I paid for it in 1979. Okay. Super cool, right? Well, I had to take a double take. When I saw it, when I looked in there, and there's a tag on it, and this is in really mint condition. It's really a really nice comic book, really good storyline. But anyway, I looked at the little yellow tag that they have on there, and guess what it said? $150. $150. I paid 75 cents for this back in 1979. Okay? Like 12, 13 years old. Something like that. It was awesome. I thought about two things, because of course you know I'm a disciple of Stan Lee. There's these wannabes out there and these young guys that try to dissect what the comics all meant and everything else. I'm telling you, I was there. I was there when they were rolling it out. Before it got on this TV screen, on the movie screen, I said once the technology catches up with the technology in the video games, in the comic books, video games, movies, everything, through the roof. Okay? But anyway, it struck me two things that came to mind when I saw that comic book. As you can see, my little son is crawling by there. Go, 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 go. Sorry about that. Anyway, two things came to mind. One quote and one superhero's characteristics. And the quote is, of course, we all know it now, with great power comes great responsibility. And the other one that I learned from the Silver Surfer when I was young, big Silver Surfer fan, was patience. Now let's talk about patience first. When it comes to the social issues that has plagued our country for years, slavery, inequality, fear of another snatching power, we've been patient far too long. Okay? It's time for the action to happen. You see? And that's why I'm so hell-bent, so forceful about us shoring up our flanks, shoring up our neighborhoods. Because it's just not going to happen. It's not going to stabilize us unless we do that. We have to be patient not only with ourselves, but with our neighbors. Okay? We have to give up our hatred for one another in gang warfare. We have to stop being suspicious of each other. We have to stop allowing others, on top of that, stop allowing others to be our leaders in the grand scheme of things. We have to let them know that our leaders stem from the neighborhoods that we live in. The activists that are in the neighborhood that are doing things for the younger generation. You know, the football players, the coaches. And I'm not remiss to even say gang members. You know, you hold a position of power in those neighborhoods. And if they see you changing, if they see that you have found a way to give up your hate, to give up the gang warfare with other gangs, it goes a long way. That goes farther than a grand protest or somebody saying it on TV. That's a good segue to what I'm going to talk about next. And that is, with great power comes great responsibility. Let's be honest. If that puppet in the office now would have decided that I can't just represent some of the people, I have to represent all of us. If he had done that, no matter how he thought about the virus, which drug his ratings down drastically, but on a lot of other issues, he might have a real cult following. Okay, let's be honest about that. He came to drain the swamp. He came to do this and that and the other thing. If he had stuck by that and said, but you know what? We got to help these people. Yes, like I said, he threw some bones and did something with the prison issue and, you know, those kind of things. But it wasn't enough because he still spat out conspiracy theories that didn't have anything to do with governing the country. That's a responsibility that he has to take on. Okay? That's a responsibility that we should have made sure he took on. Okay? Those people, those black people, they shouldn't have been puppets for him. They should have been like, okay, yeah, Donald Trump did this for me, but I still don't like what he's doing, this, that, and the other. This is what he has to do for the black neighborhood. Push him. We could have did that. Okay? We could have forced our way in. Kanye West had a chance to do that. Look, man, you're doing some things, but you're not going far enough. We don't like the way you talk about this, that, and we don't like you supporting guys with torches and talking about white power. See? And until we come to that realization, because once again, the power lies within the people in a democracy. I'm not talking about capitalism. I'm talking about democracy. You know what I mean? Those things that are so important to the human condition. You know, the voting, the rights. In my videos about the law, all of these things are important. You see? When we're talking about hate, in this particular, and it takes me back to this too. When it takes me back to this comic book, this storyline, this creature here is Mephisto. That's the Silver Surfer, and this is Zenla, his beloved. Okay, he gave up a lot. He became Galactus Herald, and you'll see Galactus on Fortnite. But he was Galactus' first herald. Okay, see, a lot of people may not know that. But anyway, Mephisto hated the Silver Surfer for the same reason why Klan members and the extreme right hates black folk. Fear of potential. Silver Surfer's potential to be great. Fear of losing power. Because Silver Surfer fought for good. Mephisto fought for self. Sound familiar? Self. And meanness and mindness. See? Silver Surfer fought for love and understanding and patience and learning. These are the things that are plaguing our country now. When someone hates me just because of the color of my skin, they're not just hating me for the color of my skin. They're hating because they see me as a threat to their power. See, Mephisto, a threat to my overall existence. He's the extreme, but the theme is still the same. Okay? When somebody on the left is too far left, you know what I mean? It has to be a social... No, you're not giving people the freedom now to strengthen themselves. As I talked about in the last video, those outliers. We in the middle have to say, like the kids in Chicago, there's a white woman who was trying to get rid of a liquor store in her in a neighborhood. The protesters burned it down. The flower that sprung up from that were teenage kids and football players putting money where their mouth is, building a grocery store. And now the kids have a sense of belonging, sense of honor, sense of pride. The football players did what they were supposed to do. Give back to the community. Patience and power. With great power comes great responsibility.